It's Wednesday. That's his song. It's time to bring in DeAngelo Williams, the star of Amazing Race. He might have finished second to last Wednesday, but you're always first in iHearts on Wednesday. And can't wait to see your journey continue tonight on Amazing Race on CBS. DeAngelo,
yes.
You're 1 week in. People have started watching. How has it been like for you? Because you're an official reality star. And after seeing yourself on TV, you got to actually view it. What was it like?
It wasn't bad. It was actually fun. The actual race, when you're out racing, that was the fun part about it. But it was different. It was 100% different. Obviously, you saw the Trinidad and Tobago. Some of the backstories are hilarious because they cut out Gary like absolutely flipping his lid on me because he was right about the steel drums and I was wrong. Mm-hmm. And I was like, bro, like it was so bad that we were there, felt like for 3 hours, right? After he finished and we're going to the goats, he still didn't let it go. And I'm like, bro, it's over with. We've moved on. Like, you should be able to move on. And even, the next day, while we're in Bogota, he's still talking about like, dude, just listen to me. I'm going to take us to the promised land. And I'm like, bro, all right, we get it. Like, I screwed up, bro. I know. I didn't know. And like, even to this day, even rehashing or watching the episode, he called me when we got to the steel drum. And he was like, if you would have listened to me. And I'm like, bro, that was 2 years ago, bro. You still ain't let it go?
That is crazy to think that it was 2 years ago at this point, and obviously it was filmed pre-COVID in an entirely different world before we even knew what 2020 was. That Steel Drum Challenge did almost doom you guys. It was almost the end of your team in week one, but you did make it through, and it was a fun episode. And to see you traveling, like, dude, you were living your best life at that street party in Trinidad. And the beginning of the episode, you looked like you were having the most fun out of anyone. What was it like to be, I assume, had you been to Trinidad or Tobago before, and what was your favorite part about that part of the journey?
Well, I have not been to Trinidad and Tobago leading up to that, but I have been to Carnival in Brazil. So going there and knowing that they have Carnival now, I'm definitely going back. But just the music and the vibes, this is what's crazy and nobody ever talked about. The people that was playing the steel drums, they played it 4 hours straight with no stopping. Like, I kept asking them, I was like, yo, is there no commercial breaks? Like, where is the, like, I need to catch a breather. Like, this is insane. But yeah, the entire 4 hours, us leading up, they played the steel drums. And I was like, yo, that is insane. Without stopping, and everybody danced for 4 hours straight. I was like, is this a cardio class? Like, what is this?
Before we talk more, I got to talk about your background, because we're talking about different places and like traveling. Yeah. It looks as if, is this something that you painted? I see something with the hemispheres and some flags behind you. Where are you right now?
Well, so no, that's a map. I'm actually in the kids' playroom. I decided to go remote and like just kind of experience. I'm from now on, when we do this, I'm gonna just do it from different places in the house.
Oh, that's a fun.
But this is a map, and we always do depends on where the kids have gone. Mm-hmm. Inside within the state, like what states they've been to, which cities they've been to, and so each pin represents each one of our kids, and they eventually, by the time they're grown, want to do all 50 states. But believe it or not, we've gone to Hawaii way more than we've been to Kentucky, and that's right down the street.
I wonder why. It sounds like a little bit more of a vacation spot.
Yes. But I do have to tell y'all this. There's another reason why I'm also, too, here in the playroom and I'm not in the usual office, is me and my wife have been beefing for a couple of days now.
What?
And I want you guys to help me.
This is not funny, because I know you're very serious, and I hate this for you.
No. Right. But this is why we're beefing, though.
Okay.
She told me, like, we're sitting there, and, we're getting something to eat, and I was like, man, strawberry is the best flavor of anything, whether it's a drink, whether it's in food, whether it's the smell. And she was like, no, it's chocolate. And I'm like, nah, because it can't be chocolate in any form. Like, it has to be strawberry. I was like, strawberry makes everything better. And she was like, no, it's 100% chocolate. That has to be like the number one flavor in the world. And I was like, I don't know, honey. Like, I'm talking about like me preference-wise, strawberry has to be the best. It's strawberries and cream, not chocolate and cream. Like there's a reason why. But that's what we've been beefing on. She think it's chocolate. I think it's strawberry. I think strawberry is the #1 flavor in the world. What do you guys think?
First of all, do you not remember the fact that Meghan doesn't eat red things?
Yeah.
Come on, we got to keep up.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So I am not on your side of things, but also I definitely just not because of just strawberries, but I definitely agree with chocolate. Chocolate is everyone's like universal language. Like when I don't feel good, I want some chocolate. When it's just that time of the month, I want some chocolate. Chocolate is chocolate. It's sexy. It's cute. It's sad. It's perfect. And chocolate goes with everything.
It's love.
Yes.
It's happiness. It's celebration. I'm team chocolate in this. My only caveat is if you're talking about fruity flavors only, like strawberry is the best. Strawberry is the best for like gummy bears or suckers or lifesavers. Everyone loves the strawberry flavor soda.
Though you don't get a chocolate sucker. You don't get a chocolate like
you could have a Tootsie Pop, which, and to be fair, Tootsie Pop, I like the raspberry one with the chocolate inside, but that's beside the point right now.
But I feel like chocolate's in more things.
And like, okay, even like just the scent of chocolate going into some place, I am more inclined to be persuaded to have some chocolate if I go in and I'm like, ooh, that smells really good. If I smell strawberry, I don't know.
Well, think about it. It's Halloween's coming up. If I'm a kid, if I'm trick-or-treating, what's the one thing you want? Chocolate.
Not strawberries.
I don't want the fruity candy. The fruity candy, I'm like, that's some cheap stuff. I want the Reese's Pieces. I want the Three Musketeers. I want the M&Ms. I want the Kit Kat. No one's thinking about, I hope I get that Lifesaver.
No. You know what? CJ, what you got, man? What are you riding with, bro?
Watermelon, grape, then strawberry, chocolate, whatever.
Watermelon
is delightful. Y'all are haters.
No.
Y'all are haters.
And also, grape is also a strange choice.
Grape
I don't hate grape. I don't hate grape. I like that as like a kind of like cool off-brand choice because sometimes I get excited. Like I like the grape Skittles. The purple Skittles are actually my favorite of the Skittles. But watermelon is bizarre.
You go get a Faygo drink, you're getting a grape Faygo. You're getting the purple.
I'm getting the orange.
I'm getting the orange.
Getting the orange Faygo.
I'm the only one getting purple? Nobody else is getting purple.
Get orange anything in the soda is like always the best.
But not in the candy, which is a weird difference.
What happened? What happened to this conversation? You only had 2 options. You had strawberry and chocolate. And you're going to be that guy to be like, nah, man, watermelon.
Yeah, no, because watermelon is better, DeAngelo. I'm an outside the box thinker, man. What can I say?
But I will say this,
like,
okay.
It's delightful.
DeAngelo, CJ, obviously, because CJ always knows where the free stuff is. CJ found some candy here in the office, and what's the first thing that you grabbed? Peanut M&Ms.
I grabbed some peanut M&Ms.
That's chocolate. He had choices of any other candy
there was no other like fruity flavored candy though. It was chocolate or the cookies, and I almost grabbed the cookies, but I went with the peanut M&Ms.
I see what you're saying. They didn't give you the option of a fruity candy, and then they gonna use it to their advantage. Yeah. You see, he grabbed chocolate.
You see how they
fruity
do
candy wasn't even an option.
If I could have got some gummy bears, gummy bears.
Yeah. Gummy bears isn't a category of its own though.
I'm sorry, DeAngelo. Obviously, clearly, we don't agree with you. This is why I keep saying I want to meet your wife. Like, I would love to meet Mrs. Williams. I feel as if she would just fit right on into this equation perfectly with us. You're the odd one out always. So she kicked you out of the office and put you in the playroom.
I don't well, it's just it's been kind of tough because my wife is one of those, and I don't know if it's women in particular or if it's my woman. Or if it's or it's just my household because my kids are the same way. When my wife says something or if I do something, like it pertains to everything she say moving forward. Meaning, like we could sit down and we could be drinking water, and she was like, "Yeah, I bet that water tastes better if it was chocolate." And I'm like, "Okay, I thought we got past that. Like, why do you have to bring that argument back up every time you say something?" And I'll be like, yeah, I'm going over one of my friends' house. You think they got chocolate over there? Like, I mean, like, okay, like, let's just move past that. We see that you on chocolate, I'm on strawberry, CJ on watermelon. Yeah. And I mean, we get it. We totally, I understand that. But at the same time, I shouldn't have to relive that because you felt like you won the argument and you didn't. I mean, and this is, I don't understand how y'all both chose chocolate either, because I think that's That's insane.
Maybe it's a woman thing. I do think like chocolate for us is like it's our everything. It's literally our everything. It's what we crave all the time. I craved chocolate yesterday, so I had chocolate chip ice cream. Like it could be a woman thing. Even think about it. What makes strawberries sexy? Y'all women like. I don't like it. Women like chocolate and strawberries. Like that is what part of it is included. Chocolate. You have to have a chocolate to make the strawberry sexy. Without the chocolate, it's just a strawberry. There's nothing sexy about it.
I mean, you can throw whipped cream on it. You can throw caramel on it. There are a lot of different things you can
Chocolate,
throw.
yeah,
Ice cream. You can
okay, when you go for Valentine's Day, the number one thing people want to get is obviously roses, but it's chocolate and strawberries. Like that's what it is. You don't say like,
Megan,
oh well, we have options of caramel and whipped cream as well. I'm not what?
I'm not playing with you today. Like I can't believe that you're trying to tell me strawberries are not sexy.
Oh, strawberries are never sexy at all. Strawberries to me, trust me, strawberries are not sexy. Like no man better bring a strawberry around me, or we're gonna have to break up.
If a dude wants to bring a sexy fruit to you, what is it?
The fruit is not sexy.
I don't want sexy fruit.
Chocolate.
No sexy fruit.
Like
why do you?
I have to say this. I have to get this out before I forget. Jessica, this is for you. Megan, this is for you. And CJ, this is for you. During Halloween time or any of the bold candy that you're looking for, the number one candy that people seek out that has no name is the ones with the strawberry wrapper with the green thing. Nobody know what the name of them is.
The church candy.
They're just strawberry.
They just show up.
Those are the church candy. I don't like those.
Oh, those are really good.
That's like the church candy, the school candy.
I'm done.
You want to know what I really? Did you ever have cream savers, DeAngelo?
So what candy are you? So what candy are you bringing out for Halloween? Like if COVID wasn't a thing, so obviously some people aren't doing that. So if COVID wasn't a thing, what candy do you have for Halloween normally?
The little strawberry joints will be plentiful over here at the Williams household. That's what we pass out.
I will make sure if
candy that I like.
You're the house that I would not go to. I'd be like, they don't got good candy. They got that cheap stuff. Let's go to the let's go to the neighbor next door who didn't pay for the fence. He probably gives out chocolate. The neighbor next door probably brings out chocolate.
Does your family give the king size bars?
No, we're the family who turned our lights off. Don't bother us.
Oh,
please don't bother us. We're that family.
I cannot believe y'all. I can't say this though. My favorite Halloween candy is candy corn. I don't care if people dislike me. That's my damn candy. I can eat that all day.
You have gone from like here, you're just crashing.
I feel like we just came on a really big moment in our friendship because I am also team candy corn. I love candy corn. I need to go get myself some candy corn, and I think that the egregious distaste of candy corn in this country is not fair.
Who hurt y'all?
Not
Why
fair.
is it candy corn?
It's great.
Look, see, this is what bothers me about people like CJ and Megan. People like CJ and Megan to talk about us eating candy corn and they eat licorice.
I do not eat licorice.
I don't eat licorice
I don't
either.
eat
That's
that
gross
too.
too.
I don't eat that at all. So first of all, you know what? Everything bothers you. This is what I have learned. I already know I bother you. It doesn't mean anything to me. Everything on earth bothers you. That's why you sitting in that playroom with on that probably a kiddie chair. You're sitting on a kiddie chair right now, aren't you? With Dr. Seuss behind you.
Dr. Seuss trees in the background.
I know. Look at you. Yep. I'm on your wife's side on this one. Put him in the playroom. Go talk to them in the playroom.
According to a study on mental floss, the top 3 candies for Halloween in the state of Tennessee are 1, Tootsie Pops, 2, Skittles, 3, saltwater taffy.
That's terrible. That's an awful list.
It's a really bad list. Who made that? Yeah, I don't know who made it. Some nerdy guy with some glasses and sitting in a chemistry jacket.
They're keeping up with how much candy is bought during the Halloween season.
That's the cheap stuff. Let's be real. Like sometimes,
a bulk order of saltwater taffy.
Whoa, Megan. First of all, you've said that a couple times, and I let it slide the first couple times.
Yeah, you like cheap candy.
Cheap candy got to do with anything? You giving it away anyway.
It doesn't matter.
Why do you have to put a price? Why you put a price on it as if it's like a drug or something?
The good candy.
They got the cheap stuff over there.
First of all, says the guy, money rules everything. The guy who's on a reality show to win some money. Like money makes everything. That's what makes the world go around. So the good candy is the expensive kind. That's what we like. The cheap stuff people go out and buy. Yeah. If I'm gonna give it away, I'm gonna buy the cheap stuff. But that doesn't mean I want it. I'm not going to your house because no offense, DeAngelo, what I have learned from you and our beautiful friendship throughout the times of this wonderful show, you are financially woke, as we say. You're cheap. So I am not surprised that you buy the cheap candy. You're a little cheap. You just keep your money, which is smart. You're smart. You're one of those rich people who have like a bank and say, "Oh, I don't spend money. I don't have it," but you have it, but you don't spend it on the good stuff. It's fine.
It's called vintage candy, okay? First of all, with all the disrespect that you have coming out of your mouth. Vintage. I would appreciate that. I also want to talk about this before we leave. I want to know just your thoughts and also CJ thoughts too. And I kind of want to start with CJ because this is going to be an interesting conversation. We don't know a lot about this Coxie situation at the University of Memphis. I wanted to talk a little bit about that, but I first want to see where CJ head is and then kind of bring it around to you guys, and then I'll tell you kind of what I think. Because we don't really know, they said he stepped away from the team. We don't know the reasons for him stepping away from the team. Are you okay with that? If you agree, disagree, CJ? And how would you handle it if you was the head coach?
I mean, I agree with it. The player, family matters most, right? And if your family is off, you've got to go and deal with that because that affects you and your performance on the field. And if he can't focus, if he can't concentrate because of stuff that is going on with his family, by all means, man, go take care of that. I support it. I wish him nothing but the best. As a head coach, it's got to be next man up. You don't want to ever have somebody who's discontent or focus on other things in the locker room because that can spread. And you don't want that happening as a head coach. So as a head coach, I would support him and let him know that Memphis will always be a place he can call home and a place he can come back and visit and give speeches to help motivate the kids because that legacy that he helped build the past, 2.5, 3 seasons matters. So as a coach, I would always welcome him back with open arms to the program.
Yeah, I agree with CJ on this. It's kind of like I like the players having the power to say if I'm not happy or if I'm checked out, if something's going on and I'm not happy with playing in the locker room with this team, with the coaching staff, like give them that chance or if there's something family, giving them the opportunity to step away and say this is not for me. I'm going to go get ready for the draft. If that's what's important to him, great. The only thing I don't agree with is the sense of obviously there's something going on between him and Ryan Silverfield because if there wasn't, his name would have been listed in the number of people that he did thank. I know Coach Mike Norvell, he's the one who recruited him and who brought them there, but Silverfield was not listed at all. And he listed some coaches, the players, the fans, and not him. So there's something there. If it's a matter of if he wants to come back 2 weeks from now, you can't say you can come back onto my team. You can come back and get your degree, which is what he said he wants to do. But I can't welcome you back and say, hey, 2 weeks later, you're now welcome back into our team. You walked away. You chose to walk away, which is fine. That's on you. Go get ready for the draft, but you can't flip-flop.
Yeah, I mean, we're all three. We talked about this yesterday, and we're on the same page of giving players, especially in a year as tough as 2020, like you do you. You do what is best for you in this moment, and you get that support. I thought it was really big to see a bulk of his teammates come out and quote tweet his tweet on social media, wish him nothing but the best. It was nice to see that support from the team side of things. Obviously, if you're Coach Silverfield, you also have a right to be frustrated. Like, you came into this season thinking that you were getting Brady White coming back. You thought you were having Kenneth Gainwell, one of the best, most electric running backs in the country going into this season. He decides to opt out. Now you're already into a season where you face so much adversity, and now DeMonte Coxie chooses to opt out. So it's a natural reaction if there's frustration there, but you just hope that they can patch things up. What do you think?
Okay, so I was for it and against it. Here's why I was for it. I was for it because I feel like players deserve the opportunity or deserve to make the decision on their future. However, this is where I disagree with it. Had it not been a pandemic, had we not been going through the things that we're going through, we wouldn't be openly accepting of him making this decision. But because he made this decision, we just automatically assume it has something to do with the pandemic. Because let's be honest, everybody have family issues. We all have family issues. We all deal with them in different ways, but it don't equate to us like, hey, I'm gonna opt out of this scholarship opportunity that's paying for my scholarship, that's paying for me to go to this university based off of my play for this institution. I can turn my back on it and be cool. So I can understand both sides, but what I don't understand is that, okay, players opted out before the season. Okay, that's well within their right. But then during the season, as it's going on, regardless of what you go through, you've already committed to, hey, I'm using this scholarship. I'm going to be here. You can count on me. And then at the moment I need to count on you going into this big game against UCF, you're not available. Like, where are you? Like, you're in the game plan. But again, I'm a little biased too because I really care about my university. I also care about the players. But if it came down to the players versus the university, I'm gonna choose the university every time. Hence, me not being a head coach or a coach at my university because I care too much for it. But with that being said, again, I think if he decided, hey, I'm gonna be here week one, then everybody from week one all the way to the end of the week, then you're stuck here, regardless of what's going on. But I mean, that's just me.
When you're not paying players, it gets into a situation where you just can't ask them to make the sacrifice that you would see in the NFL. When there's paychecks involved, things are entirely different.
But you ask him, if you take 2020 out of the equation, you have been asking these players to do these things from generation to generation, year in and year out. But because of this pandemic, now it's, hey, when you don't pay players, this is what you get. But you're only getting this because of the pandemic. Other than the pandemic, you would get the same thing that we always get. We stay mad at the NCAA because they force kids to do things at the amateur level that they shouldn't have to do, that they get paid to do at the NFL level. So taking out 2020, what you're saying right now doesn't apply because you asked these kids to do these anyway.
I think if it wasn't for 2020, we wouldn't be using the word opt out. It would be he chose to walk away. He chose to step down and walk away. And I think without pandemic, without 2020, I think I still would say, hey, that's kudos on him, because obviously something's not working, whether it's family issues in the locker room. True. I think it's a combination of both, and how he's choosing to deal with this. I can't deal with football right now. I can't deal with football. What I can deal with is to go back home, to go prepare for the draft. I still have that option in place because he is old enough. He has that already there. So if he can walk away and get ready for the draft, I would still respect it. 2020 or not 2020, the word would be different. It would not be called opt out. I would still support it. I'm like, okay, that's on you. I get it from a standpoint of being a player and, university, being a fan, and saying, you know what, that's not what you signed up for. I'm a big believer in, like, hey, I signed up to do the show every single morning. I can't just walk away and say, Jessica, I'm good, I'm out. Like, that would be wrong on my relationship with Jessica and what we signed up for. Get it, but if there's something going on, mental health or whatever, if it's best for you, you got to do what's best for you, because at the end of the day, you're the only person who's looking out for yourself. I want to say universities and your teammates and your coaches do, but that's not always the case, because when you walk away after 4 years, they don't forget about you. And so if it's not good for him, do what's best for him.
It's often a support system that works for them. Mm-hmm. Like, as long as the support works in favor of the university and the team, then yeah, it's a support system. But you need that to be all-encompassing and, like, remember to focus on the human no matter what's going on in someone's life. And circumstances change. Like, things, especially right now, and I think it's hard to take out the year 2020 in the conversation just because 2020 is so hard and things change so quickly and so constantly. It's kind of like an ever-flowing thing that we're all just trying to figure out and get to the next year.
I just couldn't, I physically couldn't wrap my mind around. So you're sitting at your office, you're getting ready for a game, and then he walk in or he doesn't walk in, or however it's communicated to you that, hey, I'm opting out. Like, how did that, like, it, and it wasn't like one of those things where it was like, oh, you could see it coming. It was just kind of, it was very Kenneth Gainwell-ish. Like, you kind of didn't see it coming, and then, like, boom, it happened. And that's what's so fascinating to me. And again, I am for him and I am in his corner, but I'm just telling you, like, it's just, 2020 is different. It is absolutely 100% positively different from a standpoint of, in the NFL, you can opt out before the season. In college, you can opt out whenever the hell you want to, as long as it's a good reason to opt out for. And that's taking me some getting used to. I really wanted to cream UCF. I really wanted to beat them. And these are selfish reasons why I was like, yo, we need Coxie. But then after playing that game, beating them 50-49, it led me to this question right here. Have everybody on the show, Megan, CJ, Jessica, have you guys ever played on a team-oriented sport that was organized?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so this is the question that I have for you, and I want you to think about this. And this may be a good question to ask people that's out in the social media world. If you're hurt or you opt out and you're not playing the next game, are you looking for the team that you play for to lose and do bad? or you looking for them to win and do good without you?
I mean, no money was involved. I played varsity basketball. No money was involved. And even if I'm
but you see the question
I want them to win. I want everybody to go out there and not only win but flourish in my absence.
Yeah, I want everybody. I would want everybody to win, just because of, like, I'm assuming that you have great relationships with your teammates. Like, I want my people to succeed, just because I'm not there out there on the court with you or on the field with you. Like, I want you to do good, and like that's just in general life. Any type of job I leave. It's like, I want you to do well, because, hey, you winning, I'm winning. That's how I look at things. Like, if you at the top, I'm at the top. I'm clinging right on to you. And so you're still part of the team, and that's still your teammate. Even if you opt out, or if you sit out, or if you're not playing, or if you're hurt, you still want the best for your team.
I'm going to flip it.
Jessica laughed. She laughed.
Well, I'm going to flip it to the other side, because when I played basketball, I was on a situation where our star walked away and decided to go to a different club team when we were playing. And on the flip side of it, in wanting to win, like, that Memphis Tigers team had a little extra oomph behind them going into that game against UCF, because you want to prove that you can do it without that player. So from that side of it, you just want to crush and make sure that everyone knows, like, hey, we're a team. This was one individual, and even though that individual was responsible for a bulk of our success, we can do it without them. If I'm injured, I want the team to succeed no matter what. And if I'm on good terms with the team, of course you want them to win. Like, that's your team. Those are your friends. That's, if you have a mentor relationship with the coach, like, those are people that you want to do well, because you're still a part of it, even when you're away from it.
Your greatness doesn't dim my greatness, though. There's enough space in this world, on this team, in this universe, for everybody to be great. So you go out there, whether I walk away because family issues, or I'm having beef with the coach, or because I'm injured, whatever the case may be, I want you to be great. And I want us both to be great, as long as we're not, like, head on competing. Then I want to be better than you. But all things considered, we can all be great.
Okay. All right.
What about you? What about you? You got to answer your own.
Okay. Tell us your answer.
Okay. So I'm being 100% honest with you. When I was in college and everything at the amateur level, I 100% wanted everybody to be successful. I wanted everybody to win. I wanted everybody to ride out into the sunset. But when you get to the National Football League and you have a guy that they're paying you $10 million and they're paying the guy behind you $280,000, and he go in and do the job just as good as you, then guess what? You ain't going to have a job next year, because I can get the same work out of him that I can get out of you for way less. So you tend to want your team to win, but you just kind of want the guy to be okay, because there's a secret. Like, I just want you to go out and just do a good job. I don't need you to do a great job, because I still got to come back and I still got to necessarily fight for my job. So there's a different way of thinking, because every play that's being had when you're not there is counted towards your job. Just like CJ said, if we're head on head competing, because that's essentially what you're doing, then you want him to be okay. You want him to be less than you, or right there with you. Just, I need to do something better than that other guy does, because if not, then my job is on the line. I'll give you a case in point. In Carolina, when I was playing in Carolina, it was me and Jonathan. We would always go back and forth. We would smash and dash, we would double trouble, whatever you want to call us. In the event that one of us got hurt, we kept moving. If Jonathan got hurt, it'll be people that get us mixed up and be like, yeah, DeAngelo got hurt, Jonathan got hurt, because they couldn't really tell us apart, because we were just so dynamic together, right? But as soon as, like, I wasn't doing the things that Jonathan was doing, then I got pushed to the back burner. He got pushed up forward, and then it was just kind of like, oh, so-and-so is better than this person right there, because now we can see the difference in talent levels. So if somebody's doing good, like, if Ben Roethlisberger or Tom Brady or somebody like that was to go down, and the next quarterback was to step up and have just as good as numbers as the quarterback that went down, and he continues that. Teddy Bridgewater is a perfect example of that. He did it in New Orleans for 4 or 5 games when Drew Brees was hurt, and ended up getting a job in Carolina and got paid buku money for doing that job for 4 or 5 weeks. So there's value in being a lot better than the player that plays behind you or necessarily in front of you. So it's a different thought process when you're at that level. because there's so much money involved, but you still want the team to win. You just don't want the guy to be as good as you.
No, I definitely get that. When you especially when you put it from the professional ranks of when it comes to money, we're seeing that right now. What's happening in the World Series? Tampa Bay,
yes,
they have a lower salary, and then you have the Dodgers, or if they're taking on the Yankees, for them to get to where they are with not spending as much money. It does say something. So I definitely agree with you, especially when it comes to that professional ranks of someone coming in, stepping above you, and doing better. It's like then your job could be on the line. I think we've all experienced that, whether it be work, sports, just everything in general.
Business makes it weirder. Like, it's not just the organic, hey, I want this guy or girl who's I consider like a little sibling to me, like next person up mentality. I've helped mentor that person. Like, if you're DeMonte Coxey, he's been working with these young receivers. You see a guy like Calvin Austin go out and have a game like he did, there has to be a sense of pride in there. Like, you've been working with this guy week in and week out, and now you're seeing him kind of take the baton for what it is and go out there and get a win, especially over a team like you said it's UCF, which is why it was so extra hard that this is when Coxey decided to opt out, because the stakes of a game against UCF are just that much higher within the Memphis football community and from a fan standpoint as well. But they end up getting the win.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
A lot in the NFL this season. A lot of this is happening
Dak
right now in the NFL.
immediately comes to mind.
Yes. Like, so Le'Veon Bell, for instance, like it's a great example, man. He gets paid all that money. He goes to New York. The backup running back that's getting paid $280,000 a year does the same thing that Le'Veon does in terms of not winning. So you know what? We're gonna cut the fat, and we're gonna cut him, get rid of him. He signs with Kansas City for a super cheap deal. Both teams necessarily win because now he's no longer on their team, and it doesn't mean that he's a less player than he was when he was in Pittsburgh. It's just the fact that he's not putting up the numbers that he put up in Pittsburgh. And even if he did, and you don't win, winning solves a lot of problems and it covers up a lot of stuff. And as soon as you start losing, that's when, you're vulnerable, or, it's time for somebody to go. There's a change that needs to be made somewhere. Like after we lost the game last week before the UCF game, everybody was, they were off our bandwagon, if you will. I even got Ramon Foster hit me up on Twitter talking trash because UT had won. I'm talking about I was getting brutalized because we lost the game. I sat back and I smiled because there was a time where it was the other way around, where we would win a game and we would have more losses than wins, and it was no conversation to be had because we was just that bad. So that's just how much our program has come from being that cellar dweller or the Vanderbilts of the SEC to now being the Alabamas of the SEC in terms of controlling our own destiny in the conference that we're in. And he came at me sideways. I was like, dude, are y'all really talking? Like, are you really talking? Like, UT's not even good, bro. Y'all got lucky, had a wild hair and win the game, but now y'all done lost two straight, and now it's crickets. You guys see me. I tweet them all the time. Like, yo, bro, what's going on? Where that same energy at when UT was on top?
DeAngelo, you talked to him about that 34-7 loss to
Man,
Kentucky?
He won't even answer the phone.
That's
bro.
a Vols fan, DeAngelo. That's what they do.
I think he blocked me. I said, bro, y'all lost 34-7 to a basketball school.
I got a cousin who's a Vols fan. Won't answer the phone if the Vols are losing. If
But
they're
the
winning,
second they win,
second they go up by one,
they win.
he is blowing me up.
That's what they do.
Bro, we lost the game, obviously, on the last second field goal, bro. The field goal didn't even go through the uprights. And he was texting me like, hey, bro, how you feeling? Like, man, you know exactly how I'm feeling, bro. Hey, guess what? After they lost these two straight, I'm texting him, I'm calling him, no answer, no reply. But he's still talking to people on social media. I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I go to social media, he'll talk back. Cricket. Won't even say nothing to me, bro.
Send him a letter.
It's unbelievable. That's what I'm going to have to do.
Handwritten.
I'm going to go old school, get him an address, do a certified letter just to say, hi, man, I'm just checking on you, make sure you ain't jumped off the edge or you ain't tried to, you know what I'm saying, go over to another team. I have to, next week you come up with this very elaborate piece
Board?
of paper
You're done.
with why you choose so many teams.
I can give him some tips.
It may sound very familiar, but I'm
Thank
not
you.
talking about you.
Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate it.
But I am. You definitely want to check on him after this week because Tennessee's taking on Alabama And we know that one's not.
Yeah,
going
this
to
is
be
the week
pretty.
you want to make sure you get in correspondence with him before.
Yes.
Make sure that communication is set.
Yes.
So you can really have a nice.
Tell him you're here for him.
Yeah.
Be that friend. Just reach out and say.
But I'm not here.
You're
for
not.
him. I'm not here at all. I treat Tennessee Vols fans like I treat Dallas Cowboy fans. You know what I'm saying? You only trust them at the handshake. Then after that, we go our separate ways. We cool. We ain't really got no beef, but we do. Because the institution that you cheer for is not an institution that I agree with. I don't agree with their morals, their standards, how they live, the color choice, like none of that. So there's nothing that we have in common other than the fact that we play at institutions. There's one, obviously, Memphis, very high in Tennessee. Tennessee, I don't even know why they still around. I mean, I thought that they... I don't even know why they have an athletic program because, I mean, it's not like they cranking out athletes every year. And it's not like the Dr. Seuss book that everybody's learning from at that university is helping. So I just don't understand. There's some things that just don't make sense.
DeAngelo, the Tennessee Trash, we appreciate you joining us this morning. We cannot wait to see you tonight on The Amazing Race on CBS.
Yes.
Where do you go tonight? Where are you going?
We go to Bogota, Colombia. Jessica, just real quick though, you didn't add any other teams that we don't know about yet to your new board, did you?
No, I did the board.
Are the Dodgers on there?
No, the Dodgers. Meghan, we established we are not a Dodgers household in this place. At least I am not a bandwagon championship fan. We can at least.
She claims LA in certain times and places.
Megan, pay attention to the board. She can't, in that lower left corner, can't cheer for the Dodgers because Chris is a Bay Area fan and she has to cheer for the San Francisco Giants.
Earlier, DeAngelo, in our conversation, she said, I'm super happy for my friends who are Dodgers fans to get that win. So I was like, I got nervous. I said, okay, you said you support your friends and family, so I didn't know where the line goes.
Well, I thought we could make it through an entire show without having to get into it because I have not added any fans.
Where is the board right now?
I don't know.
I have
gone.
Wait,
who stole?
Someone stole the board.
What'd you say, DeAngelo?
There it is. Look.
Lower left corner.
Wait, hold on. What'd you say, DeAngelo?
I'm trying to look at the lower left-hand corner because he said he can't be a Dodgers fan because she cheers for the other two. What is this? First of all, this is great penmanship.
Thank you.
Second of all, it's not necessary if you only cheer for one team.
Yeah, but it's not fun. Like, where's the fun in that life experience, man? You can get all in on everything, but not the Dodgers. We don't take it that far.
Oh yeah. We gotta wait to you gotta give it a couple games for it to be over, and then you'll let us know. You know what? I kind of grew fond of the Dodgers.
Right.
I'm a fan now.
Right.
That's how your fanship works. I mean, you don't got to do much work for it, Jessica.
Well, DeAngelo, I'm a fan of you on The Amazing Race. I just want you to succeed. So that's where my fandom lies tonight. Yes. Nothing gets in the way.
That's what we need to add to the board. DeAngelo, Amazing Race.
Hold on. There's not any ulterior motives there. Do you guys want me to win so y'all can ask me for money?
Yes.
Duh. She's asked we didn't do it this week.
I'm sorry. I have never watched Amazing Race in my life. Watching people go enjoy themselves across the country and the world when I'm in a COVID and I can't leave at all. It's not that as exciting, but when your friend, hey buddy, is on there trying to win $1 million, I'm with you, my dude.
I just want a nice dinner.
You.
All I want is a nice dinner. I want DeAngelo to come to town. We meet all of us in person for the first time, and he treats us to a nice, amazing race paid for.
What's a nice dinner? Is Waffle House a nice dinner?
No, Waffle House is not
I'll
a
take
nice.
Ruth's Chris. I love their steak or their French fries. Oh my gosh, that's so. Oh, and their dessert.
I'll take a little all tasting meal at Andrew Michael's Italian Kitchen.
If you win $1 million,
Texas Day Brazil, around the corner.
If you win $1 million, you ain't taking me to Chili's.
Yeah, no, full
You're not
steak.
taking me to Waffle House, which I drove past Waffle House on Winchester the other day. It was popping, y'all. It was a cute guy outside. I said, oh, okay. But I kept going. But anyway, we're not going. We're not going to Waffle House. I like to go to Ruth's Chris.
We are going to Surf and Turf. And I want both.
So
Megan drove past her husband.
The dinner was as nice as the company you keep, not as nice as the food and the ambiance that the Why are you guys?
All
hung
that
up on
sounds
names?
lovely
See, this
and
is
all.
what I'm talking about.
All that
right
sounds
here.
lovely
This
and
is what
all,
I'm
but you
talking
save
about.
that. No, that's why you in the playroom, sitting in that little play chair. Go ahead and sit in that little play chair with Dr. Seuss behind you. And when you win the money and have to come to Memphis, you make sure you put on a suit. We're going to Ruth's Chris. I want the French fries and I want the steak and I want the big one.
You don't
I'm
have to
not
put
even
on
gonna
a
look at
suit.
the price. No, you gotta look nice. I mean,
suit
we're
is
all going
a
all the
sports
way out.
jacket, a
I was gonna
blazer.
say,
Yeah,
a jacket's
some things I'm
fine.
gonna say, oh, do you know DeAngelo? He just won Amazing Race, won the $1 million. I know. I'll get my hair done. Don't worry. That's what I expect when
We're
friends win
really
money.
banking on this win now.
Yes. So you better keep on keeping on. And if they ever say who can steal the show, you step up. Okay? Don't say Gary. You say I can steal the show.
Wow.
I watch.
Okay.
I watch. I'm watching you.
I saw there's a
I've never
preview
had
of him
so
on a
much pressure
tightrope.
on me.
It's a lot of pressure.
Y'all are worse than my wife.
Go buy your wife some chocolate, and we expect that your marriage is back in place next week when you join us. You get her the chocolate, you make her happy, and you get out of the Dr. Seuss room, and we'll see whatever room you're stuck in next week.
The garage. Do something from outside the fence. I would love to see this fence. That's when you really messed up. If you outside.
I hate y'all. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I hate it here.
I've been trying to say bye. I've been trying to say bye. See you later, DeAngelo. See you next week. You can watch more of DeAngelo on Amazing Race tonight on CBS. We'll see if he continues this race and wins the $1 million. But for more, we are so past our time.